Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. From controversial Supreme Court rulings to the role of the Justice Department in the probe of the January 6th insurrection attempt, the justice system is front and center in our politics today. And on the local level, the top official of the federal justice system is our guest this morning, U.S. Attorney and former Suffolk County District Attorney, the Honorable Rachael Rollins. I looked it up. That's how you're supposed to address the U.S. Attorney, correct?
Yes, it is.
Do you get that every time someone meets you?
Never.
Would you get it here?
Yes, Rachel is fine, but thank you.
Okay, Rachel, good to see you. Is there any role for you and your office in the legal fallout from the repeal of Roe v. Wade? We're being told, oh no, we're safe here in Massachusetts, we passed these laws. But in the short term or in the long term, if Congress should impose a federal ban, where do you come in?
We come in, we are getting guidance daily from the Attorney General of the United States, Merrick Garland, and the Department of Justice regarding, for example, federal employees. If they are looking to have healthcare reproductive rights utilized by themselves. So additionally, we are going to enforce the FACE Act, which is essentially, you know, when people block the entrances of clinics and access there. If we see uprisings happening, protests regarding these things, the FBI and other federal agencies may be involved. Luckily in Massachusetts, we haven't seen a FACE Act violation in decades. Sadly, though, there was a murder of 2 people, a case, I believe, Mr. Salvi was the defendant there. And so we are, you know, cautiously optimistic that nothing like that will happen, but we are going to be enforcing the FACE Act if, in fact, people are blocking access to clinics.
Did you read the Supreme Court ruling? I
started and was very dismayed, but I have not made my way entirely through it, but I have been briefed and read probably dozens of articles, but I will make my way through all of those decisions that came out, not only about reproductive rights, guns, but many other things.
Well, you mentioned guns.
Yes.
What about the state's gun laws now in the wake of what the Supreme Court did, the right to carry? Yeah, what happens here?
So, as you mentioned, John, we are lucky in Massachusetts regarding, you know, having the protections of not only executive orders with our governor, but also, you know, an attorney general of our state that is standing up regarding reproductive rights. We have really strict gun laws here in Massachusetts, just like we do just like New York did. So there are some fears. We are abutted by some states that don't have as strong gun laws. So we need to make sure that individuals, it should not be easier to access a deadly weapon and, you know, potentially not just guns, but assault rifles and things that we have seen, unfortunately, in the wake of Uvalde and Buffalo. Weapons that can deeply harm and kill multiple people in a matter of seconds. Well,
we have to take our break here, but what's your level of concern as the summer begins here about what impact the right to carry ruling might have on gun crime, particularly gang crime here in Boston and elsewhere?
Yeah, I mean, I want to make sure we're distinguishing this because there are lots of people. I have a license to carry. I don't have a firearm, but I went through the process of getting a license to carry. So as DA, I could understand that process. Many of the violent crimes we see in urban neighborhoods are often committed by individuals that don't have a license to carry. They have illegal firearms. Why the individuals, the NRA and others, you know, I don't care what you think about them, why they are upset is we keep raising the standard of lawful gun owners. You know, how much more do we have to go through, quote unquote, in order to get a firearm through the Second Amendment? What I'm most concerned about is the boyfriend loophole and the Charleston loophole about mental health issues, violent outburst, juvenile records. We've closed some of those holes through our Congress. I think Massachusetts has done a great job with red flag legislation, but we have to make sure that we are continuing to protect the safety of people, not just from violent urban crimes, but also often individuals who don't have a criminal record but might have some mental health issues, though that could lawfully carry a firearm.